Señorita, disculpe. De todo corazón.
And that single-handedly reminds me of one of the biggest nightmares of being a dentist. Well, used to be the biggest nightmare. Because you see what that is? That's what we call an alginate impression. This oopy goopy stuff that you gotta mix up really quickly and then put in the mouth and then wait for a minute for it to harden, all while trying to stop the person you're doing it on from gagging and throwing up all over you. And you know what happens when you're an orthodontist? You work a lot with kids, and you know what kids don't like? Stuff being shoved down their throats because it makes them throw up all over you. In fact, when we did this, we used to just have them hold a bucket right here, and then they would basically, you would put it in and they would just go, and you'd be like, stop, you better not, you better stop, and they'd be, But you wanna know the worst part? The worst part is, if you don't continue to forcefully hold this in their mouth while they're throwing up all over you, one of two things is gonna happen. One, you hold it in there, it hardens, you pull it out, and you get the impression. You may have puke all over you, but at least you got the impression. And two, which is the worst thing that could possibly happen, is that they rip it out, they pull it out. Something happens to you before you can get that thing to harden up and you ruin the impression. And then you know what you gotta do? You gotta stare that kid in the eye and you gotta say, we gotta do this again, Pops. That's right. I know there's throw up all over me, there's throw up all over you, but we gotta get this impression. And that means that we gotta do this again, and you're probably gonna throw up on me again. But this time, I'm gonna forcefully hold this down until it hardens so you can't make me do it a third time. Now that was until they finally came out with the digital impression, which thank God saved the dentistry career as a whole. Because I don't know how many more times I could get thrown up on, guys, before I quit. But that's right, nowadays, luckily enough, if you go to an advanced enough dental office, we don't have to do this goopy stuff anymore. We do have digital scanners and digital impressions. But they take this little wand, they just scan it around, everything's there, and then we have the digital molds and we can 3D print them out if we want to. And you might be super happy that you don't have to do this, but I guarantee you, us as dentists and doctors and everything are much happier. We're much happier than you are because we're so tired of getting thrown up on.